Good afternoon, good evening, rather, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Men's Premier League for season 2023. Of course, it was the first Saturday in October when these two sides last met at a grand final decider with silverware on the line, and it was Hellenic that night who claimed the prize. Tonight, we kick off the MPL season for 2023, and what a better way than with a heavyweight clash between the two best sides of the previous campaign, Hellenic Athletic Club and MINDIL Football Club. Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in. This is Premier League football live from DARWIN Football Stadium in Australia's top end. My name is George Scufezis, and to be joined with me in commentary this evening, I have Hellenic Athletic Men's Premier League star Luke Veludos. Luke, how are you first of all tonight, and how are you feeling about the game tonight?
G'day, George. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited. It's my first taste of top-end football. The conditions have changed a little bit, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting affair.
That's right. Those of you who aren't present in Darwin, there are some light showers across us. Hopefully, they don't threaten to cease the game. Of course, the lightning rule will come into play. If there is even just a flash of light in the sky, we will cease play for 15 minutes and then resume play once it is safe to do so. But this game just continues with that slippery conditions. Of course, it'll add in a bit of a factor. We have two teams, of course, who met in that decider, as mentioned in the pre-game, and they're going to look to kick their seasons off this year in the first game of the Men's Premier League season. Of course, a win for either side would take them and propel them to the top of the table. Perfect start for one. Could it be the ugliest start for another, or will spoils be shared? I guess you've had an extensive amount of time. You had training with the Hellenic side. You know the mentality going into round one, and then some new faces and some returning faces to the club. How do you think your men will perform tonight?
Yeah, the attitude of the boys from the first pre-season session till it's been 10 weeks. Up until now, it's just been going from strength to strength. So I'm really looking forward to what the boys can showcase. And Sulav coming back, I've watched him play. I'm excited to see him live.
Should be good. Tim Lay, referee, moments away from getting things kicked off and underway. It's MINDIL going right to left on your screens. Hellenic Athletic Club left to right. And off and underway we are. That's the captain for the Aces, McDowell. Comes all the way back to another returning Aces player. That's Hanley. Jacob goes in centrally for his teammate there, and it comes out wide to a position where Carpathios for Hellenic can mop up. Now it's a Jeke looking for a darting ball for Vrontos, but Mifsud picks it off, and now it's Cameron. He goes back to Hanley, looking to lift it first time for Prifty, and Cristiano Da Costa, another player who played for Hellenic previously as a junior, many years with Darwin Olympic Sporting Club, making his impact on senior football. Now returns to his junior home in Hellenic Athletic Club, suffering a bit of a ginger challenge there.
Yeah, a bit of a knee to the back of Cristiano, but I'm sure he'll run it off.
Small challenge, and he'll certainly run that off as Hanley comes out to Mifsud. Now inside here, James Cameron looking to lift it over the top. He fashioned a good ball, but didn't quite come off, and now it's Taiki Kudo, by far the oldest man on the pitch, and now it's Kane McDowell. Riffing run. Stefanidakis trying to make a challenge there. McDowell almost shrugged him off as if he wasn't there, but the referee still gives the decision MINDIL's way. And a set-piece situation, of course, the Albanian, Andriy Prifty, will step up and look to whip in a ball. I've seen him strike from distance with either left or right foot, so an opportunity to make something of meaning here. Hanley's come forward. Cameron's at the front post. Prifty delivers. It's a nice back ball, and Adam had to be careful there. Swaying in the wind as it came through. Quick throw for McNabb. It comes out to Vazanellis, and he has a strike from distance, but that one over the bar. MINDIL a lot of the ball early, Luke, but of course only 2 minutes in. Hellenic yet to find their feet. Yeah,
that's right. And look, from what I know, Hellenic's a pretty quick team. A nice slick pitch should favour them, but I'm sure MINDIL's got the goods to play on a pitch like this too.
Absolutely, as Stefanidakis trying to come out of defensive half here. Won't quite work. He'll be forced back. McAdam is a very competent keeper with his feet, as he shows us there, and goes out on his left, looking for McNabb, and Vazanellis there is able just to marshal that out of play, get his team some troops as it's Shrestha throws into big Simon Bell. Third on the goal charts last year with 13 majors. As he comes out wide, Cristiano Da Costa's made an adventurous run, darting down this right side, looking to come back in. Da Costa across for McNabb. It's struck and it's blocked, and now Bell back post. And it's a strike from Maskey, and that one could have been the one. Many strikes from the foot of Maskey have gone into the back of the net, and it's a warning sign for the Aces, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Simon, great vision there to unlock the defence, and Maskey with a fantastic shot, just wide.
Just wide. Perhaps conditions affecting his strike, but he'll be certainly one to sharpen them up as the game continues. Now it's Taiki Kudo. Looks to go over. And now Prifty with a second attempt. It's asking a lot for Aquara there, but Kane McAdam for Hellenic will have plenty of time to deal with this one. Comes well out of his box. Short ball to Carpathios. The metronome in midfield is it's back to Ajeke. To the skipper. Alexander Turner. Marshall's his way out of defence. Looking to get past a challenge of one. Not sure if this will be a foul, but he's been lucky enough to get away with it. Now Shrestha looking to play it forward. Matthew McNabb's made the run. The flag stays down as Matthew McNabb looks to cut inside onto his right foot. Look to dink it over, but Vazanella stands tall. Now McNabb once again onto his left, looking to skip it across, and that is a defensive challenge there from Chol Manga. We've been told most recently he's applied his trade in Alice Springs for Stormbirds, and of course one of those sides that many a time used to come up to the territory and play for bragging rights in the back then FFA Cup, now of course known as the Australia Cup. It's great to see another product of the Red Centre make his way up to the top end. He's marshalling his troops already in defence as Hellenic will have the first corner of this contest. As the rain continues to threaten here. Carpathios with the delivery, it's heading straight, and Ajeke making a great attempt at the ball, and Prifty clears up to Aquara. It'll fall out through to Stefanidakis, who can do some mop-up job here, but Aquara still with it, looking for a teammate. And I believe that's Dominic Burbridge who's getting furthest forward, but now it's come out to James Cameron. Number 7 takes a heavier touch, but looks to play into the middle. Cristiano Da Costa, this will come out to an open area. Burbridge over the top, and Burbridge puts it to the back of the net. That's the opener. The Premiership champions of season 2022 get us kicked off and underway, and that's Dominic Burbridge, who has certainly made his mark. Fantastic play on the replay there from James Cameron. Has to be said, a little fortuitous off the boot of Cristiano Da Costa, and Dominic Burbridge makes no mistake there. Luke, what did you see in that goal?
Look, Cristiano, I believe he should have tracked Burbridge, but got out of position there, set it up for Burbridge, but he had a lot to do there, and the finish was fantastic, so all credit to him.
Absolutely, in these conditions, it's not very easy to take on a challenge like that. Mihan Lee being forced from the field by the referee. I believe it's an issue with his kit, but he'll be back in shortly. So MINDIL Aces down to 10 men for the time being. Hellenic, as we approach the 6-minute mark, are down 1-0. Dominic Burbridge with the opener. As now it's Nicholas Stefanidakis, one of the better ball carriers in this division. Has his pocket picked by Andre Prifty, of course, a former Hellenic player.
For the Men's Premier League in 2022 season comes from MINDIL and comes from Dominic.
Now Manga with the free kick, it was pulled back, and so the Aces with a free kick in their defensive half will look to propel this forward. Manga with a good clearance. Aquara looking to get to it. It's Ajeke, his rival, who beats him in the air, and now it's Alexander Turner looking to whip a ball across. It'll ask a lot of Rontos, but he's a very pacey customer, and he'll put Mifsud under here. Cilianos Rontos coming inside, across looking for Bell, but McNabb comes to ground. That's calamitous in the box there, and MINDIL Aces survived that attack. Mifsud getting to the end of that one.
Yeah, the ball was just behind Stilly.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was in a good position, but his pace can make up for a lot as Cameron will need to come back. Safety first for the forward. Now it's De Silva out wide, and that's a poor clearance. Conditions perhaps playing a factor, but this one has a lot to show for it in these opening 7 minutes. A goal for the Aces, and it was a head knock to Mihan Lee that forced him from the field. He'll be coming back on shortly as Da Costa throws it down the line, looking for Rontos. He finds him, looking for a teammate there, but instead gets a deflection off and out behind, so it will be a Hellenic throw-in. Opportunity for not DaCosta. Rontos perhaps to throw. He does have packs a very long throw on him as well. As just being instructed to keep the game moving here as Rontos has the ball in hand, but referee Tim Lay will just be checking with Hanley that he's okay to continue.
Could have been a yellow for coming on the pitch too early.
Perhaps so. He's being told to make his way back off the field. He has received a yellow card there, Jacob Hanley. Entering the field without authorization from the referee. Of course, that is subject to a yellow card. Boys and girls watching this at home, I know you're excited to play the game, but you need to do so in a timely manner. As Rontos with a long throw. This might come onto Bell, flicked onto the back. Bazanelis is there and he hoofs it forward. Now it's Alexander Turner. Captain there. Hellenic have got a good field position here. Stressler comes wide, but it's given away. That's George Vazanelis. He heads wide, and there is a foul in there as well, so we'll go back to MINDIL and hope to relieve some danger, but
bit late there from McNabb, but from what I'm seeing from the first 8 minutes, no one's really getting a foothold, but obviously we've seen MINDIL have got a lethal counter-attack.
Absolutely. Burbridge, Cameron, Acquira, Prifty pulling the strings. This could be a very, it always was going to be an entertaining contest with the grand finalists featuring the first game, but this one has kicked off well. It's Carpathios, a clever header, finds Rontos in space, and he's got acres to burn here. Acquira, the striker, coming to keep him composed. Oh, it's an Olay there from Rontos as he still kips forward, looking for the ball, but it doesn't quite come off. McNabb possibly calling for it when there were perhaps some better options near him.
It's definitely a bit too deep for that pass.
I know he's their talisman, Matthew McNabb. A lot of their best football came through the number 23 in season 22, but it's a nice ball from Carpathios. It's a good touch as well from DaCosta. Takes it down well, but his pass is astray. That'll be given away to the goal scorer in Burbridge, but he's given it back away. Bell from distance. Might fancy a shot here. Come on to Maskey instead, who has a strike, and that's blocked. Simon Bell in his path has a strike, and that one off the edge of the boot nearly fashioned its way in. Not some clever footwork there from Burbridge, looking to get his lines clear. Now Prifty, Burbridge again. Carpathios for Hellenic will mop it up, and they'll continue with this attack as now Matthew McNabb looking to go into one of his trademark runs, drops the shoulder and looks to come back in again. Prifty tracking him, Burbridge back as well. This could be a foul here, and it is.
Often very good save there from the goalkeeper.
Absolutely, that outside the foot boot shot, and McNabb often, almost in a way, is definitely not a centre-half, but often when centre-halves get forward on an attacking run and they're brought to ground, the referee will give a foul. He seems like one of those players, McNabb, that can just draw in a foul from almost anywhere. And
I think that's his game. From what I've seen in pre-season, he sort of sits in the background, but then when he wants to go, he'll draw a few players, he'll make a few things happen. So you've sort of got to stick onto him like glue if you want to be effective defensively.
Absolutely, and you've definitely seen this man from up close, and certainly has a lot of the Darwin football family. Sulev Maskey, of course, a sublime set piece many years ago in the FFA Cup against Western Sydney, as Maskey comes in with a lower delivery. It's cleared out there, I believe, by Cameron, and now Aces can look to come out of defence here. Acquira, not much offering forward, looking to take it through the legs of a player, but now Stefanidakis has pretty much just given some love around the collar, and the referee gives a foul there. Quick one taken as well. Carpathios. DaCosta's come on the overlap, and here he is receiving possession. Jacke calling for it short, and now Alexander Turner. Stressler's made himself available in space, so has McNabb. It goes on to Nepalese fullback. Inside now for Stefanidakis. Now Alexander Turner, heavier touch, but he's a clever player. Always has the ball close to his feet. Now Tega Ajeke. Dinking ball, looking for McNabb, who will look to take it down. Picked his pocket immediately there. Vazanelis is Maskey with a strike. Hits a hand on the way through, but the referee signals for corner kick. I'm not sure if you saw that, Luke. You might get the replay of it.
Yeah, from my perspective, that looked like a handball.
Wasn't quite in an orthodox position, I thought, the hand.
Definitely had his hands by his side.
A little bit outstretched, I thought. Weren't definitely by his side. But I'm not sure if we'll get the look at it, but corner kick nonetheless. It's George Carpathios. His right boot can certainly play in a good delivery as it comes in. Header out by Hanley as far as the Greek midfielder, and Karpathios. A nice ball as well, and it's hit out by McDowell, and now Burbridge. He's got a man on the far side. Really, that's Taiki Kudo, but comes in the near side. It is to Kudo, but now it's DeCosta.
Covered well.
Covered very well. Now Stressler's come across this right-hand side, perhaps from that set-piece play. Make the trek back onto the other side as McAdam has the ball, perhaps just allowing that to happen. Stephanodakis filling in for Stressler as Karpathios has the ball. Goes to that aforementioned Nicholas Stephanodakis. Now Bell, pressured, and there is a foul in there on the big Simon Bell. 13 minutes and a half, almost thereabouts. Hellenic certainly settling into this game. Barrage of attacks as Karpathios looks to send this one wide. How's his touch? It's not too bad from Frontos. He has the pace to recover as well. Mifsud gets a decisive little dink in there as Cameron looks to come away from DeCosta. Ajeke out wide. Cameron looks to turn on the afterburners, and he could be away here, but DeCosta's very pacey as well, and he's got time. And McAdam receives. Wayward clearance. Maskey brings it down. Now Maskey gets some oomph on that one as he plays it forward. Frontos looking to offer in space. Instead, Mifsud heads to the touchline, and quick throw in now by Frontos as well. Hellenic certainly wasting no time in this match as Maskey plays in a ball. Should be cleared, and it is from Mihan Lee. Prifty has primal position for this and has been blown the foul.
You can definitely see, as the game's going on, Hellenic starting to string a few more passes together, a few more attacking movements, but yeah, MINDIL still look very dangerous on that counter.
Absolutely, presenting as that side. Told pre-game that the Aces still have a number of players missing from this starting 16 on a team sheet. That is a throw into the Aces. So playing to their strengths, I spoke to Coach Daniel McCormick, and he's expecting a number of troops to still make their way back into this side. So he said we'll play the game how it's need to be played. And it's worked so far, as this one will just peter out for a goal kick. So as we approach the 15th minute, more or less, I guess, from the blue and white camp and Coach Dimmy Galanopoulos, how do you think he'll be looking at this game so far?
Look, Dimmy's, the result obviously is a big thing, but the performance takes precedent. And right now, I feel like he'll still want more from the boys. He'll want a bit more running. He'll want a few more passes strung together, and the defense has to tighten up a little bit.
Shot from distance there from Aquara, and a little bit too far out, but with this wet pitch, you don't know, with a bit of a bounce there, could have presented itself as an error, and good touch on there, as mentioned by Luke Valudos in commentary, of course, current men's Premier League player, just a little bit of time on the sidelines with a niggling injury. Hopefully not too long before we get to see him in the men's Premier League, providing insight, comments so far tonight, and that's a wayward piece of play there from McAdam. Could present an opportunity for the Aces if they time this right. Kudo's offering in the midfield, but Maskey's coming across to cover that avenue, but it will still go to Kudo. Maskey does eventually come across, but now it's Prifty. Skillful touch there as well. Now it's Kane McDowell looking to play this one deep in, but Ajeke gets there. DeCosta fixes his feet out. Karpathios clears. Frontos inside for Stephanodakis. Back out wide now. Frontos there looking to assess his options as Mihan Lee covers him down. Mangar gets a touch, and Vazanelis now to Kudo. Lets it roll. And Prifty, referee says play on, and the ball's played out wide here for Matthew McNabb. Will he look to cut inside? Of course he does, and now it's his right foot. Looking to dink it into the Simon Bell. Disguised slightly, but even perhaps for the Englishman.
I believe that that duel between McNabb and Vazanelis is key in this match, and currently Vazanelis is doing a pretty good job keeping him quiet. But
Sure is. One of those players as well, again mentioned by McCormick pre-game, that an injury to Nicholas Konzionis, the usual right back for the Aces, meant that George Vazanelis has stepped up from the bench to his starting 11 spot, and certainly put in a good argument to say that he should be there going forward as well, as an offside comes up again against Hellenic, as DeCosta threatened to join into an enterprising attack, but the referee's whistle will bring that to an end. And MINDIL get us quickly back underway. Mifsud to Mihan Lee, and now it's Taiki Kudo. Back to Mangar. Goalkeeper offered as well, but pegged into their own backline here as they look to come out. Mifsud, slippery ball, and a free kick against the Aces here will mean that Hellenic can threaten from this position.
That's good pressure from Stylianos, just taking advantage of that touch. It's done well.
Absolutely. And a lot of times in the game of football, you're often leaving balls like that to waste, but there is none to waste in this game, and especially if you are 1-0 down. Approaching 9 p.m. local time, 8:51 at the moment, as George Carpathios, the number 6, looks to drive it in. A little short for his liking, as the Aces can look to repel. Now Cameron to Prifty. Aquara leaping forward, and Jeke is able to get there. Cameron looking to fake his way forward. Holds play up for Kane McDowell, the skipper. Presenting wide is Taiki Kudo. Instead looking for Cameron with the zip of this pitch, Luca. Ball like that is never going to work.
Not at all, but if those balls come off, I mean, Mindil, those forwards in Mindil look quite quick, so, you know, yeah, if those come off quite nicely, Hellenic should be in a bit of trouble again. Absolutely,
so pegged into their defensive half here, Hellenic. Of course, the ball is with them as they look to come forward. Frontos now. And Mifsud providing pressure, and he does get the pivotal touch before it goes into the touchline, so it will be a Hellenic throw-in once again. Slightly further forward and look to come out of defence. Cameron just giving the ball back to DaCosta, allowing him to take this throw. Now Maskey, click on header. Bell wasn't quite on the same wavelength as his teammate there. There's now Sebastian De Silva, up-and-coming young goalkeepers in the Darwin Men's Premier League. Wayward ball there from Meehan Lee. McNabb can pick it off, and now it's Maskey. Back to McNabb, some space here for the number 23. Thinks about it, eventually does, and that one over the bar. You don't mind that from a player that can score goals.
Oh, definitely. McNabb's got it in him, but maybe just sat on that for a bit too long, thought a bit too long, and just got under it. Should just get over that ball, keep it low.
Absolutely. And coming, again, from, ladies and gentlemen, those of you listening now, Luke Valudos is a, I guess, attacking-minded player, more of a striker. Does that play into the psyche a bit more when you maybe should have had the shot a second ago and you had that extra second to think about it?
Oh, definitely. But look, if you're an experienced striker, you just you sort of dust that one off and go again. Really, that's the only way to get over that one.
Absolutely. I'm sure he'll have plenty more opportunities. Matthew McNabb, as Meehan Lee's joining in this attack. Pace as well, the centre half. Looking to push Cristiano out of play, and referee says play on here. Aquara has the ball, looking to come past Jeke, does very well. Uche Aquara, and that one is just pulled to the near side. McAdams near post. I don't think that would have threatened McAdams' goal. As you can see there, a shot of the rain briefly as it's pelting down still. Has been a very dry and cool week in Australia's top end. So rain certainly wasn't predicted for tonight. Perhaps a shower or two, but it's been unrelenting so far in these opening 20 minutes. Yeah,
it's been absolutely beautiful this week, and it started to spit at the start of the game. I thought it was going to be a slick pitch, but now the wind's picked up as well.
There's Aquara comes through. Oh, wasn't that a vital block to end up straight in the hands of McAdam? Quick play from the Aces as well. Pressure under McAdam there. Carpathios acknowledging that straight away. Oh, that's a strong header from Meehan Lee. Bandaged up, but doesn't let that get in the way. Now it's Tega Ajeke coming with possession at his feet there. Of course, given away though, Burbridge, and he's given back straight away to Alexander Turner, one of the best players in the league in terms of interceptions. A wayward ball there, but it could work for Vontos. He's got pace, certainly more than Mifsud, but Mifsud certainly has the experience to jockey his way into advantage. Now Bell.
Well, Mifsud called for a foul there. I think perhaps that should have been given as a bit of a rough tackle.
As Maskey back to Stefanidakis. Now Rabin Shrestha. Carpathios. Alexander Turner. Slow build up this time, but it's given away once again. Wayward play from the Nepalese fullback as now it's Andre Prifty. Good challenge there from Turner. Still the ball will come forward. Aquara will let it roll. James Cameron instead for the Aces has possession. Inside for Aquara, takes a touch and looks to get past Ajeke for the second time. Aquara again, third. Could this be fantastic? And Aquara off balance, but I tell you what, that would have been certainly a goal of the year contender with only 22.5 minutes gone.
That's a beautiful little slalom move there.
Oh, my goodness, that was as exquisite as I've seen, certainly here. Putting Lionel Messi to shame there. Just the finish didn't come off for the big forward there.
I've got to give credit, though, to MINDIL's formation and defence. They really turned that ball over, but not giving Hellenic much of a chance to go forward.
Absolutely, and they seem to be a little bit more comfortable for the two in backline. So I hope I don't jinx Vazanelis here. He's had a very good game looking to get past McNabb, and he does well. Advantage is signalled, and kind of had to make that challenge there to Costa. They've swapped sides, the fullbacks, and Rubin occupying this near side to the commentary stand as Vazanelis has the throw. Now to Burbridge, the goal scorer, of course, ladies and gentlemen. A fantastic finish earlier in this match, and that one goes out of play and behind. Looks to me like a goal kick, and that's what's been signalled.
MINDIL haven't come down that right side too much this game, and perhaps the switch with Rubin and Cristiano, the fullbacks, to the opposite sides maybe unlocks Cristiano to move forward a bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. Attentive stuff there from perhaps the Hellenic touch area, technical area. Probably signalled that one, unless it's been taken upon the onus of the players themselves. But regardless, we'll see how that change pans out as McAdam goes for a bit of a viciously hit goal kick. Short one to Ajeke. Off looking for options here, Ajeke. None presenting so far. Might be forced to go short. He is. Frontos. Stefanidakis. Toes it across to Karpathios. And now Karpathios further wide. Now it's to Costa. We'll see if that potential is unlocked. But instead comes short to Turner. Now Maskey. Back to Turner. Now Kane McAdam. Karpathios now. Shrestha's on this far side if he can find him. And some space as well, but instead it's given away to the Aces. Vazanelis. It's cut off there by Karpathios, and now it's Turner. Short to DaCosta. Look to gallop forward and join the attack this time. Very attacking-minded fullback is Cristiano DaCosta. Nice pull across as well for Maskey, looking for the run. Bell was making it, but it didn't come off. McDowell. Taiki Kudo. Has some space as well, looking to force a deflection, but it's still Hellenic ball as Maskey's bumped off it. Referee says fair challenge. And now it's Cameron looking to come forward, and Rabin Shrestha coming to the aid of his Nepalese compatriot in Sulav Maskey. Perhaps a foul in there, but the referee in the centre there, Tim Lay, says play on.
MINDIL are making those extra runs constantly, put in those tackles. That's my kind of game. I really like to see it.
Absolutely. Bringing the velocity and speed so far, the Aces. There was a lot of question marks on their personnel and whether they'd be up for this game. They certainly have so far. Nice play from Mifsud, reading that one well as James Cameron takes a good touch to ground. Looking to play it through to Burbridge here. Ooh, and Ajeke gets the header across it. I think nonetheless Alexander Turner was awares to that one as Cameron now back down the line. Shrestha to Maskey. Back out wide to Rubin Shrestha. Now Sulav Maskey looking to dig it over the top, asking Simon Bell a lot to do here, especially with Mihan Lee frontal position. Now, that one's going to go out of play. Referee signals that it will be a throw-in for the Aces. And now, come through here. McAdam has to be careful. Referee doesn't quite give a foul there. Play on is the signal.
Good dangerous ball there.
Absolutely, yeah. If he wasn't aware to that, could have been... Oh, and back into the centre there. Maskey complaining a bit of obstruction there, but referee signals play on. Kudo, Aquara, back to Kudo. Turner reads well, but now it's Mifsud. Turner out of position, but Rabin Shrestha does very well.
I'm seeing the defences for Hellenic, they're doing a lot of work there. The midfield's just got to string a few more passes together. There's no link up between Sulav, Nick, and the forwards.
Absolutely, and play like that will often tire out your centre halves, and of course if your strikers are making runs that aren't meaningful, it'll tire them out as well. As Kudo forward to Aquara, and just a little wayward there. I think if threaded through directly to Aquara, that could have been a very dangerous ball. Instead, it's Kane McAdam with ball in hand. It's fair to say, Luke, so far in these opening 27 minutes, neither goalkeeper has to do too much apart from that goal conceded by McAdam.
There was a good save down the other end. I think that they kept things level, but yeah, they're pretty comfortable today.
Now, Hellenic looking to string some momentum together themselves as Maskey looks to come over the top. Vrontos is the one who's made the run. It's a good ball as well. Gets a deflection on its way through, halting its trajectory. McNabb rather, sorry, looking to bait that one through as Simon Bell will have possession. McNabb coming into the centre as now Bell will look to turn provider. It's a good lengthy cross. Rising well was Vrontos, just from the back didn't quite affect the ball. Now it's Aquara. Cameron over the top as well. I think it will go out of play. Certainly does. And exciting stuff early on. Both teams in very good spirits playing this game. It's been back and forth. A lot of pace played amongst it with both teams. Hellenic having a good chunk of possession early on, and the Aces have wrestled some of it back and have shown their potency going forward off the counter-attack as Stefanidakis takes a touch and turns around. Maskey has made his way into this far area. Stefanidakis looks across for Alexander Turner. The captain can look to conjure something here. Maskey's offering in this far position as well. Nab tried to take it away, but it didn't quite work as Aquara's got some pace as well. He'll come up against Karpathios, is backing off and he's asking for reinforcements to come. There's a second one now. It's Turner who's joined in, and Aquara will try go back. And Vrontos is the one who puts that out of play. It'll be a Mindil ball.
Aquara's having a lot of good fortune against Tega Marcus, but maybe when he looked at George Karpathios, he thought twice.
Absolutely. McDowell rides the challenge of Karpathios. And Kudo looking to play it forward. Burbridge looking for the flick onto Prifty. Instead, it'll be cleared out here by the Blues. And now Vazanellis. Burbridge. Prifty. Look for the skillful here. Still with Prifty. He has a shot, and just that near side of McAdam is able to be gobbled up with relative ease. Now it is Cristiano Da Costa. Stefanidakis. Spreading wide are the fullbacks. Fresta on the near side. Now Maskey receives for Hellenic on this far side. McNabb makes the run. It's played as well through to McNabb. Can look to turn the afterburners on, and that could be dangerous here. Meehan Lee already on a yellow, of course. Is this second yellow card offence?
I'd say it is. Goal scoring opportunity denied. But it doesn't look like.
I would certainly think so. He's asking the player to come across here. Perhaps just like a father talking to his son, to Jacob Meehan Lee, saying you've got one more chance. If you do it again, you're going to get in trouble.
That is a generous chance.
It's a very generous chance. I thought McNabb would have been through on goal there, open his body on the right and slotted away, but brought to ground by Meehan Lee. And of course, if you're just joining us now, he did receive a yellow card for entering the field of play before the referee signaled he could. So he's already on a yellow card. Picked up that one fairly early on. And Hellenic now with a set piece, and it's no strangers to who steps up to take it. Sulav Maskey. Very, very potent from this position. Referee sets the wall. The Aces look primed. Maskey steps back with that menacing look in his eye. Players have joined in forward as well. Now Sulav Maskey. On his right, looking to go in, and it's gone direct! What a goal from Sulav Maskey. And he comes in forward. It's a great celebration there, directly for the camera.
That letter M to represent Maskey, and obviously his wife, Mamata, who is watching at home.
A shout out to her as well, who watching this game from home. But what a free kick from Sulav Maskey. That is absolutely as picturesque as you like. And not sure, Luke, if he could have struck that any better.
Oh, he did a fantastic job there. I've got to say, during preseason, I haven't seen Sulav take one free kick That was the first one I've seen since I've been here, and that was just brilliant.
I hope you know to stay away from free kicks now. Maskey will certainly be first in line for those.
I reckon I'd be last in line for one of those.
And he opens the scoring there. Still love Maskey. Scores are level, and you think that as the rain starts to dissipate, the heat has just been turned up here. Of course, Friday night football, Men's Premier League live from Darwin Football Stadium. Match 1, season 2023 is Prifty's brought to ground. It is a free kick.
You notice that goal that came out of that free kick from McNabb. Sulav's just gone out wide. Nabi's come in centre, and he made that driving run through the lines. And so maybe this change has worked out for the better. Well, obviously it has. Let's see how it goes for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. Fruitful change there from the Blues technical area as the ball sent forward from Mangar. Rising up was Stefanidakis. McDowell was asking the question, but I'm not sure what question he was asking, if there was a free kick in that. Play on is the call. Maskey now, goal scorer. Can he turn provider? So it comes back to Mangar, and he does the safe thing and just plays it out into touch. Of course, at this stage, we'd like to thank Diamond Barbers. Of course, they have now 4 locations across the NT in Parap, Bellamac, the Darwin CBD, and Coolinga. Book now in 2023. Stay fresh with Diamond Barbers. As DaCosta has the ball, and it comes back into play at Jeke. Looking to dink it forward for McNabb. Not quite enough purchase on that ball. Good position as well, McNabb to threaten. But now the big centre half. Tega at Jeke. Deflection immediately off the cross by James Cameron. It'll forward to McNabb. Good touch as well for Carpathios, has to be said. But Prifty gets in the way, and that one was gobbled up by referee Tim Late. Not afraid to get a touch on the referee. Still early days. I'm sure he's past his playing days. No disrespects to Tim Lay, a great referee.
Do you reckon he was a player back in his day?
Maybe some social football here and there, but he's certainly a great referee in the top end. We're lucky to have him as Mihan Lee comes forward. Taiki Kudo, definitely the oldest player on the pitch. I mentioned it earlier, broke the record in the Australia Cup last year as the oldest player to take the field. As Robin Shrestha, given ball away to Kudo, looked to bounce through to McNabb, but just the deflection of Kudo takes it wide. And now here is the goal scorer for the Aces, Dominic Burbridge. Still with Burbridge, will look to use his pace against DaCosta, but DaCosta's a very pacey customer.
Gets his body in the way there, does a good job.
Spot on, and goes out of play for an Aces throw. Left for Vazanelis to come up forward to take, and this could be a position of danger if they're able to throw it to the right man at the right time. Vazanelis comes in looking for Burbridge. Still with Burbridge, and a little audacious, I'll say the least. Perhaps he could have cut it back across goal.
Yeah, he just sliced that one.
Certainly better options on from there, but doesn't quite utilise one of those. And it will be a goal kick for Hellenic.
I'd say in that position there, where he was on the line, maybe if you put some laces through it across goal, could bounce off a defender, own goal, could hit the striker, but yeah, just the wrong decision there.
As now Shrestha has it, given away, but he'll be fortuitous to receive it back again and go all the way back to his goalkeeper here, Kane McAdam. Venturing to the right of his box. Now across to the left, Alexander Turner will receive. Turner will come forward. Playing inside for George Carpathios. Heads wide, now it's Shrestha. With possession, look to springboard something forward. McNabb's making a run, and he'll have the pace to get there as well, ahead of Kudo. Mangar telling him to take his man, and now Mihan Lee makes the challenge across to Bell, and almost double trouble there.
Almost a fortunate touch there.
Absolutely, he would have put the Blues in front as Vontos now looks to swap sides with McNabb like the fullbacks, and Vontos looking for a ball directly to goal, and that one goes out of play.
I've got to say, from what I've seen, Vazanelis must be doing a good job, because a few wingers have been trying their luck to pick that lock on that side. And,
absolutely.
None have come to too much success, but there's a lot to play.
Certainly a long time to play, and I don't have any locksmiths on speed dial, Luke, but I'm sure that they make the locks pretty good at aces so far, and Vazanelis has certainly prevented McNabb and Vrontos from coming through the front door. And it remains 1-1 as we left the game. From the beginning, stalemate so far. Of course, the aces goal cancelled out by a Sulav Maski wonder strike. As De Silva sends this forward, Burbridge looking to flick it forward. Turner had good position in the centre of the pitch, and now Meehan Lee looking to head this wide. Mifsud should keep it in. He does so. And now it's Hellenic on the attack. McNabb. Still with Matthew McNabb on his left, having a strike, and that one's not far away. Tell you what, I think it rose a little bit as he hit it. Looked at off the boot that was destined for the top left.
Yeah, I think he remembered from his first shot, just don't think twice, just go for it, and it was definitely a lot closer this time.
Certainly was. I'm not quite sure if you got the replay of that at home, but it was a great strike. I'm not sure if he had the authority to strike it, and tells you, you know what, I was the top goal scorer from last year. I'm going to have a hit if I want to, and it wasn't quite far from the top left on his left. Deflection header in there as Stressler comes forward, and now it's Sulav Maski looking to come away from his opposing number 10 in Prifty. Maski lays it wide to Cristiano Da Costa. Still with Da Costa here. Back to Turner. Players on the far side here, and stress that if there's a ball whipped with ferocity, but instead it's still with Turner.
Hellenic's definitely trying to keep that possession, wear MINDIL down, but MINDIL are being very efficient as well. We'll see how we go at the end of the game, but in terms of pre-season, the boys have been doing a lot of hard work, so I reckon in the later stages of this game, we're really going to see who's been doing the work.
Absolutely is. Looks like it'd be a yellow card coming out here for Dom Burbridge, so a goal to his name and also a yellow card to accompany that. And so a forward and a defender for the Aces, both shown cautions in this game. It'll be a free kick for Hellenic as we whip across and thank Ward Keller as well, your territory law firm, personal and business dispute resolution experts, and you can reach them on 1-800-978-360. That's 1-800-978-360. As Carpathios getting some instruction there from Stefanidakis, perhaps onto how to deliver this one. Whistle's blown and Carpathios is signalling for a long delivery. Driving, looking for Vrontos. Headers there dangerous, and De Silva has to do well here. And instead it goes behind for a corner kick. Frustrating there from the keeper. It looked like he had it in his grasp, and then when he took his steps onto the ground, sort of took them behind the line. And corner kick, dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I thought he did very well there, but yeah, it didn't work out for him. But fortunately, look, one observation I've made for this game, the pitch is wide, very wide. So these corners, you've got a lot of time to see them.
Absolutely, and a lot of effort to get them there, as well as Maski, one of the best. No issue in getting into the deep in the box. Ajeke's there back post, and De Silva makes a great two-handed fist out there as Turner looking to come back to Stefanidakis. Might have his pocket picked, but McNabb can take it here. Onto the left, tackled there immediately by Prifty, and now Manga, and Stefanidakis trying the tricky there, or the technical, trying to play it off Manga and out for a corner, but instead just a goal kick. So we enter the remaining less than 5 minutes of regulation to go in this first half. Mifsud coming down this near side, looking to send it forward again for Burbridge. Ajeke getting a good header to it. Now it's Carpathios, forward for Maski. Still with Sulav Maski. It's his goal that has the Blues level pegging. And McNabb looking to head it to Bell. Bell wins the header easily, but now forced to do something about it is Vazanelis, but Vrontos still with Vrontos, and Vrontos puts it into the back of the net. That's a great goal, and a backflip to cap that off as well. And Hellenic, from 1 goal down, are now 2-1 up, and it's Simon Bell's header. And tell you what, lock has been broken. Vrontos scores. What'd you like about that one, Luke?
I don't know what was better, George. The goal of the celebration. He, yeah, beautiful slalom run, and yeah, that yeah, he was just itching to give us that backflip, definitely.
Absolutely. We've seen it, I think, a couple times. I saw it last season, but it was a fantastic strike, it has to be said. Kept his composure as well, which I thought was the telling sign there. Could have very much played it straight into the grasp of De Silva, but did well to take it away from him and then slot it into the back of the net.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think we all take his speed for granted. I mean, it's what an equaliser that is. As not the goal, but speed,
Absolutely.
Great equaliser.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Some of those at home might thought you think that the score's 2-1-1, but of course it meant as in the velocity of how quick he was. Bit of a Friday night learning lesson with Luke. As that makes it 2-1 to Hellenic, and MINDIL with ball in hand, looking to come forward. McDowell there, forced into the corner by Carpathios. A lot of hard work from the Blues has definitely been rewarded so far, as McDowell looking to take this to the corner, and he does win that as well. Corner kick to the Aces coming up, and with only a couple minutes, it's certainly crucial in on here for Gallinopoulos' side to hold strong.
Yeah, MINDIL haven't had it down their end for a while, but definitely a good time to do it.
Absolutely, as it comes back here, and that one's going straight out to the McMillan's road end. One less ball. Have to get someone onto that. Not quite sure if I have someone on speed dial for that one either. Instead, it will be another corner kick to the Aces. And with a deficit here, it would be a perfect way to restore parity in this game from a set piece. And Andrew Prifty can certainly play a directed ball into the box, and that's what he'll look to do right now. Prifty, shorter one, cleared out first time. Mifsud will look to perhaps get to this. He does so. Turns away is Hanley, and now it comes out to Kudo, looking to play it into the box at Jeke. The Blues set up their great wall of defence, great. As now Shrestha forward, and now McNabb. Could they break the lines here? Matthew McNabb looking for options. Instead he is brought to ground. Now Stefanidakis to Vrontos. And the offside flag rises, I believe, coming from an offside position perhaps.
Yeah, I think Stilly was on a bit earlier. McNabb just took a few extra touches, but again, that MINDIL run for that tackle, I love seeing that sort of stuff.
Absolutely, great challenge put in there as it heads out wide by Alexander Turner as we exacerbate the...
There will be 2 minutes of time added on, just 2.
2 minutes of additional time there. Of course, ladies and gentlemen of you watching at home, it's a little bit, a minute or two behind on your graphic, but we have less than 2 minutes of additional time to play as Mifsud making in a ball to the box, headed on by McDowell. Acquire moved out of position to threaten that one really as Stefanidakis goes up to Maskey, and of course you've got a 2-1 lead and into the dying embers of stoppage time. You may as well clear your lines, allow your team to come out of defence and just give some defensive possession to the Aces as Vazanelis looks to come down the line. Now Burbridge look to get past De Costa, and instead a foul blown there. Bit of frustration there from De Costa.
You've got to give credit to the MINDIL boys. The final minutes of this half, they're really trying to change that halftime team talk.
Absolutely, and it will be one of those that we'll see how both coaches address their charges, but now it will be Prifty with the delivery. Maskey a short wall. Looks to come into the box, headed up into the air by De Costa. It's anyone's ball here, really. McDowell gets contact, and tell you what, Meehan Lee had a shot from nothing there, nearly threatening. Good save from McAdam, as now Matthew McNabb can utilise his pace, get past Mangar, and now it's Matthew McNabb. Vazanelis trying to track back here. He might get there, and he does, but still with Matthew McNabb, drops the shoulder, coming across, looking to come to Stilianos Vrontos on his right, has a strike, it's well saved by De Silva, forcing his teammates to come and help Mangar eventually with the clearance. It was good initial play by Vazanelis, and now MINDIL will look to counter-attack, one of the final opportunities of this first half as Kudo has it. Now it's Acquira. Surely seconds remain as Cameron to McDowell, staying strong against Turner, and that is a bit of a foul there. McDowell clever getting for frontal position, kind of almost inevitable for Turner to make that contact as this final ball looked to be it. Referee Tim Lee has a look at the watch. perhaps the final stanza of this 45. And Matthew Mifsud with the delivery. It's straying wide. This could be dangerous as Ajeka gets the header to it. Now Cameron will need to make a quick delivery back into the box if this one is to be allowed. And Mifsud does that. Looking for Mangar. Header on there by McDowell. Comes here, back post, across goal. McAdam makes a good save. And Aquara again, it's blocked once more. And the referee signals half-time. Some calls there on a potential handball, but referee Tim Lay has nothing of it. Referee blows for half-time, and it will be a Hellenic advantage going in there. Of course, it was a Dominic Burbridge early dink, which had the Aces up and about very early in this game. 30th minute free kick from the magical Sulav Maski, and then a second goal, of course, to none other than the backflip wizard in Stilianos Frontos. Great play from both sides so far. What's your thoughts on the first half, Luke?
Oh, look, it was a cagey 30 minutes, I'd say. Obviously, there was a couple of goals in those 30 minutes. Hellenic started to take the control. Once that second goal was scored, MINDIL stepped on the gas. Almost got a goal at the end. Still, he could have made it 3-1 if he opened up his body a little bit. There could have been a penalty right at the end for MINDIL. So, yeah, very close game.
Absolutely, very close. We'll have a quick break here at Darwin Football Stadium and join you shortly for the second half of action. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Moments away from the commencement of the second half of this Friday night football. Round 1, men's Premier League match between MINDIL Aces Football Club and Hellenic Athletic Club. It is the latter mentioned Hellenic with a 2-goal-to-1 advantage. Of course, they were down 1-0-0. It was a Dominic Burbridge opener earlier in this game before Sulav Maski and Stilianos Rontos have brought things back into the favour of Hellenic. They'll be going right to left on your screens with kickoff in their favour. But what do you think, and how do you think the halftime team talk was tackled from either coach respectively?
Look, from what I can see, obviously MINDIL wouldn't be too happy with the closeout of the end of the half was great, but the scoreline at the halftime is not that great. Hellenic, we watched them doing a few sprints just before the restart, and I think that's a sign that the boys need to run a bit more.
Yeah, run a bit more, of course. Was mentioned a little bit earlier in that first half as well. Hopefully that's kick-started those legs for the Blues, and early on here with their skipper and Alexander Turner. Nicholas Stefanidakis, one of those players that feel like he can lift it up a notch or two, and it would make his side considerably better as Turner looks for a long ball. McNabb will honour it with a gut-busting run here. Touch let him down a little bit and allow George Vazanelis to mop up. Simon Bell there not quite able to receive, and now it is Andrei Prifty. We're going to come wide here and end up back with Vazanelis off a deflection. It'll be a MINDIL throw as he looked to come down the line for Prifty. Touch on for Aquara. Now Cristiano da Costa. Back to Tega Ajeke. Still with Tega Ajeke. Now heading wide to Rabin Shrestha.
So you can see that gap between George Karpathios and the other two centre midfielders they're too spaced out. Maybe it's a big pitch, but they've got to come up closer and start linking up.
Big gap there. Karpathios still now in defence. You can see on your screen as Turner looks to lay one forward for Rontos. You read it well, but his first touch let him down, but he could be back on here. Launching himself at the ball, and McNabb looking to take it away from the Aces' defence. It'll go out of play here, and it does so for a corner kick. Almost 2 minutes or so have expired so far in this second half, and a corner to Hellenic. Blues delivery here, look to add a third goal. Good position for Bell to attack, and that one looks to go in. And it looks to be an own goal.
Yep, I think so.
Perhaps off Jacob Meehan-Lee as well. The bandaged head, unfortunately, didn't do him any favours there. As you see on the replay, it is off the head of the number 11, and that is an own goal to Jacob Meehan-Lee. 3-1 now in favour of Hellenic. The perfect start for Gallinopoulos and the Blues.
2 minutes in, it's all you could ask for as a Hellenic player. MINDIL will be disappointed with how they finished that second half. They probably wanted to keep that going, but obviously it's gone the opposite way.
Absolutely. Dream start for the Blues as now the Aces find themselves 2 goals behind as to Kudo trying to force the issue, and now it's Matthew McNabb. We're going to come away from Kudo. Now it's Bell onto Stefanidakis. Still with the Blues in attack, looking to thread through. McNabb just caught the back of his boot there as Maski was to ground moments ago, but back up now and ready to reignite this attack as he goes forward to Stefanidakis, chests it well, but Meehan-Lee looked to atone for his earlier mistake, and now it's Aquara. Burbridge signalling the run, but that one's a little bit too heavy, and Kane McAdam will boot that one forward. Meehan-Lee with a strong header. McDowell. Now it's Vazanelis. Wide to Prifty. Looking to launch it centrally. And now Rabin Shrestha will deal with this one. Blocked off there by Cameron, but it's still with Ajeke. Bell looking to flick it forward to no avail. McNabb not quite in his signature position to take advantage of that one. And now it is George Vazanelis once again. A very good game as to his standards so far, and a bit of a clip there by Alexander Turner. Just sees the Aces with a free kick.
I think Turner's doing the right thing against Acquira. You've got to keep him silent. He had a very good first half.
Sure did. His pace and presence dangerous for the Blues. The ball comes in by Burbridge. McDowell looking to threaten. It's a header cleverly back there by Shrestha, and Kane McAdam will gracefully take that one in his grasp as Carpathios now comes wide to Cristiano Da Costa. Still with Da Costa here, taking on a couple, and he does very well to earn the foul there as well. Maskey forward. And now Matthew McNabb. Coming forward is McNabb, centrally here for Vrontos. Looking to latch on from distance and gets a block almost immediately, and now a play for a corner kick. 5 minutes gone here, and it is Hellenic who have added to their half-time lead. An own goal, if you're just joining us now, by the number 11 for the Aces, Jacob Meehan-Lee. And they'll look to perhaps kill this game off with a fourth. Of course, still very early doors here, but another goal, especially from a set piece, wouldn't that just add an uppercut to the blow?
Oh, definitely. I mean, look, a corner is a corner. If it goes in, that's unfortunate, but Mindil really need to get Cameron and Acquira involved to start threatening the other way.
Absolutely. James Cameron on his day, especially in the C-League last year, was one of the toughest competitors. Instead, has been kept relatively quiet as far as his standards would be considered. Now Shrestha throws it in for Carpathios. The two combine effortlessly, and now looking to switch the play here. Da Costa's remained in a wide position when Turner will find him. The Hellenic number 14 will take a touch and look to come probably back inside, and he does so. Past Prifty, still with Cristiano Da Costa, and he's earned a foul there, and a ticket as well for Andre Prifty. Yellow card.
Yeah, Cristiano's been showing some very good footwork. He did some in his third, and then right there, he's really stepping it up.
Absolutely, come to expect that from the play. He's shown it for the past couple of seasons in the Men's Premier League. A great customer.
Let's see if Sulav can make it 2 out of 2 free kicks.
Absolutely, and dare not remind you, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to, after the game concludes, of course, stick with us live, but rewind to 30th minute or so. The last dead ball that was approached by this man, Sulav, the magician, Maskey. Perfect view, I must say, ladies and gentlemen at home. We're looking right over the shoulder. Sulav Maskey comes in on the strike. It's a setup this time. Carpathios at the back post. Mifsud gets the header. Both MINDIL Aces players combine, and that's another corner kick for Hellenic. A bit of non-communication there from the Aces defence. That could have been very dangerous.
Yeah, definitely, but turned out fortunate bounce for them. It's gone out for a corner.
That's all she wrote so far for that passage of play. Corner kick. And it goes attacking. It's Vrontos, and sliced off the side of the head as it comes wide, and that one does skip out of play for an Aces throw.
Nice flat ball from Carpathios, very dangerous for a very wide pitch.
Allows your attacker to make a clean contact as it comes out to Burbridge now. The Aces' only goal to Prifty. Down the line looking for Uche Acquira. Back inside for Burbridge. And he's brought to ground there. Referee waving play on, but as Mifsud wanted the advantage, perhaps wanted to strike at the left back. A little frustrated with that perhaps, and the referee using his best judgment says that's a free kick.
Yeah, Carpathios got in there a little bit late there. Definitely a yellow warranted.
A little bit late. Was the card out for,
yes,
ticketed as George Carpathios as well.
Mindil have got big boys. You know, these set pieces very dangerous for Hellenic. I know Hellenic's, I'd say height-wise, Mindil's definitely got the upper hand.
Absolutely. They've got a couple coming forward there. Manga, Meehan-Lee. Of course, McDowell as well, lurking in and around the edge of the box. James Cameron is no average-heighted man either. As Prifty now, can he one-up Maskey from this position? McAdam will need to be awares to this one. Usually always is. Now Andre Prifty coming in with a strike and saw the idea, just not quite executed.
Yeah, look, good pace on the ball, good height, but you definitely got to hit the target in that position there.
He'll be disappointed with that one. Andre Prifty always, and of course, used to better quality placement than that, so it'll be a personal disappointment rather than anything else, as Kane McAdam now with the goal kick. Hoofs it forward. And straight out of play there by Mihan Lee. And into the near side of safety. DaCosta with a throw down the line. Ends up finding its way to McNabb. And still with Matthew McNabb here in this far side into the deep corner of the pitch. Gets past Vazanellis. And gets past another one in Manga. It's still with McNabb to Maskey, and that's a great save there.
That's a fantastic save. Save of the game so far.
Fantastic save, almost diving prior to the ball being hit there. Sebastian De Silva, and then having to readjust the body and make the parry over the bar. Threatened to be a dangerous passage of play, but it's just a corner.
De Silva's kept his boys in the game there, and look, Sulav, you'd bet your house on it that he puts that in the back of the net.
Some might argue that on a drier pitch with a cleaner contact, that one would have been going in for goal number 2 for Maskey, but nonetheless, it's provided an exciting save, and the adrenaline certainly kicking in for Hellenic as this corner goes deep. Headed up into the air, centre back ball to ground as Bell trying to get above as well, and Ajeke puts it into the back of the net, and Tega Ajeke adds the 4th, and I think for a special reason, Luke, that is a special goal.
Yes, so Tega's mother, Felicia, has come from Nigeria, so that was dedicated to her. It's her first taste of Aussie football, and what a way to watch your first game, watch your son score a goal.
Absolutely, look at that inside as well there. As mentioned, I'm joining commentary alongside Men's Premier League star for Hellenic Athletic Club, Luke Valudos, and it's a fantastic goal. Gotta say, don't even see many strikers hit the ball better than that. So it's come from a centre half, it's something.
Tega will tell you about twice a training session that he's a striker.
He's a striker, yep.
Yeah, but you can definitely see the happiness on his face. It makes you can't be mad at that.
No, fantastic hit as well. And now here's Prifty. Vazanellis. Now McDowell. Maskey with some skills there as well. Stefanidakis trying to get away from McDowell, and that's a good play there. Now it's still Stefanidakis, and that one a little wayward, goes out of play. Straight to the goalkeeper. 4-1 down, the Aces find themselves as we approach the 60th minute of this game. And now Kudo, wide to Prifty, looking to angle a ball, and Turner gets down so well. And now it's Karpathios. Shifts possession further forward, and now it's Simon Bell. McNabb. Centrally finds Stefanidakis. Still with Stefanidakis here. Now George Karpathios to Maskey. Disguised that ball well. Finds its way to Cristiano DaCosta.
Hellenic definitely going through the gears here now.
Absolutely, and this could get ugly. He's still with Cristiano DaCosta. Cuts inside from Magna, has the strike. De Silva makes the initial save, and Bell looking to play it inside. And it did go out of play, referee signalling, or perhaps it's an offside there. Not quite sure, but the end result's the same. It will be a MINDIL Aces ball.
Cristiano really building on that confidence.
Oh, absolutely. He's one of those attacking defensive players, whether he plays as a fullback, as a centre-back, or even in the holding number 6. There's no stranger to getting forward. And now Manga to Kudo. Karpathios, now it's Kudo. Cameron falling over there is Mifsud. Now Shrestha to Maskey.
See, what I'm seeing is Cameron's just coming in a bit too narrow. Out wide, he was having a lot of success in that first half. I think if they can try that left side a little bit more, it might turn the dial into MINDIL's favour. But yeah, right now Cameron's just got to stay out wide and give Shrestha a bit of trouble.
Absolutely, yep. As now Prifty to McDowell. Burbridge. Now it is Cameron. Back to Burbridge and loses out their possession. Almost gave up on the play entirely as Carpathios has it.
I think Cameron's got a bit of a niggle.
And now it is Cameron. Perhaps to be substituted shortly. You see they're very gingerly walking away from that now as Meehan Lee makes an attempt, but McAdam will look to come away from Meehan Lee and does well. Looks over to the technical area. Does James Cameron looking to stretch that hamstring, of course. No stranger to soft tissue injuries. Did miss a handful of games in the previous campaign. And now it is Cristiano da Costa on this near side. Back for Alexander Turner. Stefanidakis, quick play back out to Cristiano da Costa and look to come past Vazanelis. Long ball as well, looking for Vrontos. Not a bad idea as Cameron now with possession for the Aces. But his ball is lazy and poor. Instead, Carpathios comes away. Matthew McNabb looks far side, but I can only find Mifsud. Now Stefanidakis. Shrestha. The Aces really allowing Hellenic just to play with the ball at the moment. Does no harm for the possession stats as well.
No, that's something that Dimi really worked on. He really wants most possession, play total football, really wear down the opponent, and Hellenic's starting to do that. But look, some of the boys are looking a bit ginger, so it's not doing them any favours in getting that ball back for MINDIL. Absolutely.
Running the Aces into the ground, it seems, as Aquara will be forced to chase this one. Looks to have front position over Ajeke here. Uche Aquara. This needs to be perfect in as McDowell. Across to Cameron, and he skies that. Not quite as picturesque as his namesake, James Cameron. Makes a lot of good films, I think. Avatar being one of them, but he'll want to look away from the screen for that shot, that's for sure.
Look, his day job, he sits in the director's chair. I think with a bit of a niggle that he's got, he should be fine.
Absolutely, should be fine, but his night might come to an end shortly.
He definitely should have got on the end of that and scored, but I'd have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's a bit ginger and probably a few steps behind the ball to get on top of that.
Absolutely, yep. Mentioning it well. And so McAdam in no real hurry to continue this one, but it is a chance for the Aces to head to their reinforcements, and it looks like a double change here, Luke. Are you able to perhaps see? It looks like perhaps it's Dom Burbridge coming from the field, and yep, you mentioned it, James Cameron.
Yeah, I think it's a good change. I mean, MINDIL need a refresh of their wingers.
First player to come onto the field for the Aces, number 13, that's a youngster as well, and Armand Dani.
Triple change.
Yeah, triple change it looks like. Taiki Kudo, the next one to come from the field, and also Kyriakos Timotheo and Eamon Kelly coming on.
Does the FFNT align with the World Cup substitute rule? 5 subs this season, or
yes,
not?
Yep.
It does.
5 changes, yep. Has been 5 changes for as long as I can remember in Darwin football, yep. So 5 opportunities for subs. They don't quite abide by the Premier League's 3 break rule, where you can only make the subs, I believe, at 3 separate stages. But now it is Alexander Turner to Maskey. So we'll see what 3 of those changes can do for the Aces as we approach the final 25 minutes or so. And now Vrontos in the box. This could be danger. Off the post. A bit of a touch there by Da Silva and off the sidebar as it comes out to Armandani. Now one of the substitutes for the Aces gets the ball and is bundled to ground.
Vrontos has been just a continuous threat all game. He's doing very well.
drives a player down to ground. Not what Daniel McCormick, the Mindil coach, would want to see. Looks like it's their centre back down to ground. As Hellenic will look to make some changes of their own. Looks to be the end of the night for Robin Shrestha, who's, by his standards as well, played a very good game.
He has, especially when he switched over from that left back position to the right back. Actually, I think he is coming off.
No, perhaps not. Simon Bell looks to be coming from the field. Big striker. He hasn't had quite such an impact as his previous season has shown. Perhaps hence for that change. And in his place is number 3. That's Riley Schroeder. Bit of a shuffle up there. It looks like Rubin's gone more attacking, and Riley has taken Rubin's position just to allow for a bit of a shuffle across the board. And Rontos still on the pitch. It's just the one change for the Blues at the moment. So Simon Bell coming off and Riley Schroeder coming onto the field.
Definitely a good change, protecting Simon. He picked up a knock this week. I've got to say, look, I'm a striker. I'm injured. We're a bit light up top. So, yeah, getting Riley on the pitch, getting Simon off to play next week is a very good decision. And seeing Rabin, I've played with him in pre-season. He's played in the midfield as well. He's a very good attacking threat.
So a bit of a foreshadow, or a looking into the future substitution, you'd say, from Gallinopoulos in terms of bringing Bell off.
I'd say so. With this scoreline, perhaps you could maybe shut up shop. I don't know what they're going to do. There's still a lot to play for, but definitely to protect Simon.
And for the Aces, I believe Mangar is still off the field of play, so down to 10 for the time being. They're down 4-1, and they're currently playing with the 10 men on the field. As possession will be restarted here from a drop ball.
Where'd the drop ball come from?
Truth be told, Luke, I'd be guessing as well. As it comes in now, Shrestha given away to Mifsud. Now it's Arman Dani. Looking to play a dinked ball through for Kelly, but it's picked off by Turner. Now it's Shrestha through the legs of Dani.
A few nutmegs tonight.
Oh, they're certainly up for it. If there was a counter, I'd certainly say we're in the handful, that's for sure. As Kelly picks off possession for the Aces, skips past Stefanidakis, and now it's McDowell. Past Stefanidakis himself. Now Timotheo. Back to Sebastian De Silva. Loads up long, and he looks for substitution. And Eamon Kelly, Prifty, further on to Aquara. Still with Uche Aquara. Pretty much by himself up front, and he'll need to put in a Herculean-like effort to do something here. Kelly joins in for some reinforcement. Stefanidakis looks to take it away from Kelly, but Kelly does well. Now it's McDowell looking to play it in for Prifty. Takes down a good touch, and Andre Prifty with a left-footed strike. Almost his teammate in Armandani was there. Perhaps could have served as an option, but instead the Albanian looks to go for it himself.
I think it's still a good option to go for it. Unfortunately, MINDIL have had chances. They've just not put them either side of Kane, and Kane's positioning has been fantastic. Hasn't had an issue, but MINDIL's definitely had plenty of chances to make an impact on the game.
Absolutely, as Kelly pretty much just pulls Stefanidakis to ground.
Made a good tackle there.
I think I saw a bit of a shirt tug there from Kelly as he was going to ground, tried to take him with him. As Cristiano De Costa will be coming off the field of play, and his replacement is going to be Ronald Tolman, number 14 for number 15. Two former Olympic senior players now turned red to blue, and that's the substitution made. And it looks like that Mangar's night is also come to an end for the Aces, and I did see Matthew Wright, the number 16, come on the pitch for the Aces. So Mangar is off the field and Wright is on. We'll see if that ends up being the right call by McCormick, as it comes back in defence here pressure gauge has certainly been released at the moment. Looks like Hellenic are just being allowed to play with the ball at their discretion at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really good first showing for the boys. Happy to see it, but obviously you could see that quality in MINDIL in that first half. I just think that perhaps there was a couple of injuries quite early in this second half that maybe slowed them down a bit.
Yep. Of course, already begun this game without a number of key senior players, so that already wasn't going to the story of McCormick, and so, but of course that is football. You need to adjust for changes and any kind of unexpected story that may be written, and it certainly looks like Dimi Gallinopoulos has started season 2023 in the way that he ended it.
Obviously, MINDIL lost to Hellenic in the previous match, but during the season, how did they go? Yeah,
so that was a little bit polarising in that. First game, Hellenic did win 2-0, and followed by games 2 and 3, MINDIL prevailed 2-1 in both those occasions. And then, of course, the last time these two teams met in the previous season was the decider in Hellenic winning 1-0. So I guess, you know, with the grand final included, the ledger was squared at 2 wins apiece. So although it might be the first jab to Hellenic in terms of the season, I dare say MINDIL won't have a part to say as the season progresses.
No. But, yeah, look, I think it's still going to be a mixed bag. MINDIL, they've still got 20 minutes to play. They could still turn this game around.
Absolutely. And now it's Schroeder, substitute coming forward here, looking to skip past Kelly, utilises pace as well. He's brought to ground. And the referee signals play on. A lot of the supporters are telling the Hellenic substitute to get back onto his feet as well. Ball comes into the box here, dangerous! And that one, almost by right, was the wrong move. Dangerous there from a centre, from a defensive player to be leaping in like that with a kind of challenge. It looked like he was kind of not really back to goal almost and just made contact with the ball. And fortunate for De Silva and Hellenic, it's not a 5th goal.
Yeah, right, was a very lucky boy there.
Would have been the second of own goals tonight if that had gone in. Carpathios with the delivery. Goes into the box. Find its way all the way to McNabb. Matthew McNabb still turning back the other way. Frontos has remained in space here. Instead, McNabb goes with a strike on the left, and that is a goal kick.
I think he rushed, maybe forced the shot.
And looks to be some movement here on the touchline. And a substitution has been made. Foundi Beku is on the pitch, and I think it's the end of the night for Stylianos Vrontos. So a goal to his name. Vrontos has played very well. And now Foundi Beku onto the pitch, looking to make an impact.
Yeah, Stylianos had a very good game, very threatening all night. But yeah, be excited to see what Foundi can do.
Absolutely. As now Schroeder, heavy touch just escapes him. Bazanelis forward to Carpathios. And now it is McAdam. Forward to Maskey.
You can see Stefanidakis is getting involved a lot more in the second half.
That license to go forward, and he's taken that license and looking to thread through Beku, who's got pace as well, almost picks the pocket of Bazanelis, but you mentioned it there, Stefanidakis almost unlocking the key to another goal.
Yeah, I definitely was noticing it in the first half. I would have liked to see him get on the ball a bit more, but now you can see he's got a lot of potential.
Almost as though the shackles were around his feet in that first half. Perhaps that pre-second half run-through they did on the side certainly has given a bit of run that Hellenic needed to now run on top of the Aces. So
I think that half-time run could become a regular occurrence.
It very much could be. It could be a master stroke by Coach Jimmy Gallinopoulos as the ball comes in now. Dangerous here. Another header by your own Aces defender, sends it back behind again. Very unconventional. I will be honest, I've not seen it much at all in all the games called last year, but as we see, trends are definitely started somewhere, and that could be one for the Men's Premier League.
It's almost like a mental barrier. You just got to get a few sprints in and just know you can run at full speed. And once that's out the way, you play a bit harder. I do it before games.
So the ball comes short here, Mifsud. Now Baku. Now Hellenic still on the ball here. Dangerous for Robin Shrestha. Back now for Alexander Turner. Kane McAdam.
If Kane lost the ball there, got a bit of a distance to run back to goal.
Oh, he loves a bit of a nosebleed in terms of positional play on the pitch. He loves to join up in a corner as well if the situation be required. Now it's Riley Schroeder looking to thread it through for Baku. Can utilise his pace as well. Vazanelis tried to get it clear, but Baku continues with the ball, and now it's out to Robin Shrestha. Back post delivery, just overcooked it slightly. Tolman did the right thing, but just overran it as Maskey has it. Shrestha might be urged to have a shot here. Position as well. Now Baku. Wide here for the Blues. Sends it into the box. Headed out initially. Maskey, and that one is... That maybe, as you said, as a forward, he probably had too much time there.
Yep.
Sulov Maskey.
Yeah, just didn't get over it. But that whole turnover there was caused by Ronald tracking back and preventing that pass for the turnover.
Absolutely. Good running there from the substitute. There's now another substitute. It's Wright. On the ball and coming forward is Matthew Wright. Uche Aquara being tracked well by Tegara Jeke. Almost a man-marking job from the Nigerian defender for the Blues. And now it is Kyriakos Timotheo on the ball. Comes wide out to Eamon Kelly. Looking to drive it inside, but Alexander Turner, cool and calm as you like, clears it to Timotheo again. He is a substitute, of course, to his other compatriot in Eamon Kelly. And now it'll come away for the Blues, though. Schroeder looking for a long delivery, looking for McNabb. Open acres. And Mihan Lee is able to gather that as McNabb acknowledges. Looks like a bit of a signature change of the boots as well from Matthew McNabb. I think it's a ritual for him. First half, yeah, one pair. Second half, the next, and it says it works for him. And being the league's top goal scorer, you're not going to argue with a man that has those kind of stats. As Stefanidakis looks to send Baku wide, but Vazanelis has perhaps put the padlock back on as he looks to be run down here, and he is run down. He stays to ground as well, and this could be dangerous. Ginger to get back to his feet, but again, with just over 10 minutes to go, McAdam puts it out, and as he sees Aquara with some pain on the floor. More than half of this second half played. Friday Night Football, Men's Premier League, Hellenic Athletic Club 4, MINDIL 1. And I guess, Hellenic view aside, how have you kind of seen this game so far, Luke?
Look, the start of the game, Hellenic it was a cagey game, but I feel, and the scoreline suggests that Hellenic have definitely grown into it. There were a couple of key battles there. There's a Vazanelis McNabb battle, which there were a few changes by Dimitri there that it unlocked McNabb in a different area, and then there was the Aquara and Tega Marcus battle, which was a tale of two halves really. And I feel that when a defender is really putting that small physical pressure constantly for over 90 minutes, it sort of takes its toll, and you can see Aquara's a bit fatigued now.
Absolutely, struggling to get back to his feet. Another substitution made by Hellenic there in that injury play. It was Robin Shrestha coming from the field, and his replacement now on the ball, the young Yanni Stefanidakis.
It's great to see as well. Look, again, this is experience from the Hellenic camp, but Dimitri Galanopoulos, I like that he gives the opportunity to the youngsters where he can.
Yep, of course, yep. When he can, he certainly likes to do so. And it does look like the night for Uche Aquara comes to an end. Premature end by his standards, but of course if it is just a niggle, they want to get him off and assess that straight away. And on in his place is number 14, that's Joshua Day. A hard-running midfielder, brought on now to perhaps just stem the flow, and restore some of the engine in the room for the Aces. And another substitute lies in wait rather for Hellenic, but that might come in the next passage of stoppage, but it actually looks like it might come now instead. Looks like Tega Ajeke, goal scorer.
Maybe the acquirer was putting a bit of fatigue on Tega.
Perhaps, yeah. If one bows out, so does the other.
Yeah.
And Tega Ajeke coming straight from the pitch, off by the technical area and on his place. Number 2, that's Savas Triculis. We said at half-time if any of these subs were going to come on and make an impact, and as to where, we did say that Triculis would come on as a centre-half, and that's where he's come. Ajeke, well-earned rest there, and he can prepare himself for the following week. Of course, it looks like the Blues have a very interesting game next Saturday at 4 p.m. against the Rowdies. Of course, they play tomorrow in Saturday's feature game against the Darwin Hearts. McAdam, very cleverly done, and how's that? A no-look pass out wide to his captain. Now Turner to Maskey. Entrenched is Turner. Darney gets a touch onto it. It's fallen to Prifty. Now Armand Darney. Ooh, strong challenge in there from Stefanidakis. It works well. Now his older brother, Nicholas, can take it on a run. Mifsud trying to impede Stefanidakis. Now it's Foundy Beku. Stefanidakis making the run, and it's honoured by Beku. Stefanidakis. Now it's Beku to Karpathios. Back to the man who instigated this attack in Nicholas Stefanidakis. Space to have a shot here. Instead he goes to McNabb, takes it away. Pushed to ground. Referee says nothing seeing there as Kane McDowell now has possession, the Aces skipper.
And McNabb's feet just went under him there.
And now Prifty is dispossessed, and the referee says play on. Stefanidakis, Yanni that is, to Ronald Cholman. So we'll have Maskey from distance, and I guess in the top end today we did have an NRL game just not too far away. The Brisbane Broncos against the Parramatta Eels. I'm not sure if we have the result of that game just so far, but that would have been a very good conversion there from Maskey. But now it's Mihanley out wide to Day. Now it's Vazanellis chasing down hard as Beku. Heard that feet running, but didn't fear it the second time and surrenders possession. Now, from a young player, seeing that kind of play by your coach, shouldn't that encourage you to see the kind of potential that a player like Foundy Beku has?
Oh, attitude is everything. Like, you sort of make a decision to yourself, should I make the run, should I close someone down? You don't even ask should I, you just do it. And that's what Foundy's done.
Close it down once again. Foundy Beku winning it off the Aces defenders as Beku goes into the box to Silva. Fortunately for him, did not have much company to impede him and makes the catch very well there. Now Darney goes back to right. And Prifty just running out of real estate there. And instead, that one will go out of play. Less than 10 minutes to go here. Opening match of Men's Premier League here. Season 2023. That is Hellenic Athletic Club, currently with a very comprehensive lead. 4-1. Of course, came back from 1-0 down to be in this advantageous position. So
the ref's having a word with Foundy in the top left corner.
Yep, not quite picked up by our cameras. More interested in the conversation Ronald Cholman's having, unfortunately for you guys at home, but it's a bit of a conversation being had, as mentioned there, maybe with Foundy Beku, and because there is a player down that far side, I believe that is why. Looks like George Vazanellis is on the deck. Some good sportsmanship there. Is not sure what Tolman's having a yarn about.
I think what MINDIL should look, ideally they step it up a bit and have a good showing of themselves for the last 10 minutes. I don't know if they could probably pull something back in this game, but
is it one of those situations where there's no harm in conceding another one but showing an exciting end to the game if you're an Aces camp, or do you just try shut up shop and not concede any more goals for the goal difference?
I think you just try and get one more goal just to let yourselves know that, you know, you could still give Hellenic a go for the next game.
Absolutely. Strong challenge in there from Stefanidakis and McDowell, but McDowell holds firm. And now Prifty out wide. Stefanidakis comes in, and the challenge comes in on Prifty, but he doesn't quite keep it in. But luckily for him, it did deflect off and out the back for a corner. Corner kick taken here. Header by Kelly. Off the foot of Stefanidakis. That was Nicholas, and kind of passed with his eyes there, Yanni Stefanidakis.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a sign of youth. You have those passes every now and again, but look, he'll learn. He's got a long career ahead. Very young.
Very young.
15?
Yes. Yep. I was with him in the National Youth Championships last year. Managed the under-15 side. Quite successful as well, which goes to show you the quality that we have here in the territory at that age. Yanni Stefanidakis, known as the enforcer in that side, might quickly rise to that role in this team as well if he continues to age in that direction.
Yeah, he's got a bright future, great attitude. I really like having him around the team.
Absolutely. Armandani, another one of those youngsters who was with that side in the youth championships. Now Day. Back to Mihan Lee. Whipping it wide, but that one probably won't benefit the run of Timotheo, and now it's Schroeder. And it's a good pass. It's penetrated through for Carpathios. Spin and turn. Nice work from Maskey to Carpathios.
It's getting a bit flashy.
It's getting to that stage. Putting on the party tricks for those that are still stuck around here. Very healthy crowd for round one of the Men's Premier League here at Darwin Football Stadium, Larrakia Park, Australia's top end. Where else would you rather be on a night like this, as Hellenic are looking to add an exclamation point. Instead, it's MINDIL who might come the other way. Kelly trying to impede there with Turner. And there is a foul against Eamon Kelly, I believe. So Alexander Turner and Hellenic with possession.
You can really see the conditioning coming through that pre-season. We had a strength and conditioning coach, Matt O'Brien, really put the boys through their paces, and I think it's showing in this game. They're looking pretty fresh.
To your point, absolutely. It looks like they're running over the top of the Aces here, who have been supposedly renowned for their fitness, but not quite sure what Matt O'Brien has done this pre-season, but it's paying dividends if the first match of the season is anything to show for it.
I would have loved to be a part of it.
You might well still be, Luke. There's plenty of time in the season. We've just started, and it is a journey, not a sprint. And, of course, if their side keep winning like this, you might have to break down some doors to get into a team like this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, good problem to have.
Healthy problem as well, as Mihan Lee gets atoned for and clears it out. There are perhaps still another couple players that potentially could slot into this Hellenic side, or at least into the 16 that aren't awares yet. We won't quite reveal them to you, ladies and gentlemen, but as they feature throughout the season, we'll be known to definitely let you know about their debuts and matches to be played. As Carpathios, there's a foul on him, and it's cleverly done. Nearly 90 minutes of football, and you'd think that Carpathios is just getting the show started.
Well, with those boots, I think he is the show.
He is the show. Certainly taking it up to Matthew McNabb in terms of who has the most audaciously coloured boots on the pitch. Not quite as much audacious in the second half, McNabb, but certainly sticking out with that bright pink boots as Carpathios. Schroeder calls for it. It's a bit too high there from McAdam. Instead out of play. Thrown in by Vazanellis. Now it's Kelly to Day. Timotheo. Across to Mifsud. Darni. The run is on the far side if you can find him, but he chooses not to go that way. Instead back to Mifsud. Now Kyriakos Timotheo looking to pierce it forward, and McDowell will receive. Look to take it past Schroeder. Look to get a leg in, but doesn't quite work. Kelly still. Kelly looking to dink it over Turner. Referee says nothing doing. Nice turn there from Carpathios, inviting Beku for the run, and he's got pace to absolutely thrash here, Fanik Beku, but so does Mihan Lee. Nice challenge there.
Great tackle.
Dicing with, or flirting with trouble there as well. Hanley, of course, already on a yellow card, and perhaps some could argue should have already been dismissed for a challenge made in the first half, but perfectly timed this time around as Joshua Day has possession for the Aces. Less than a minute of regulation time to play here as Armandani has the ball. Good challenge there from Ronald Cholman. McDowell sees the run being made there by Wright. And Matthew Wright look to turn inside, unsure of himself, and Hellenic are able to gobble that one up and perhaps go on one final counter-attack here as Maskey has the ball. This will test the legs of Matthew McNabb. He looks to pass the test as well. Matthew McNabb, oh, and that's a great save.
Risky from the keeper.
Absolutely, but look, goal bound. Sebastian De Silva, to his credit, has done everything he can to keep the score at bay. 4 goals to 1.
He's been fantastic, Da Costa. Unfortunately, conceding 4 goals, I don't know how much he could have done about any of those goals, really.
Yep, I know. Certainly as a player, certainly being a player that you are up front, sometimes when you concede a goal, you often point straight to the goalkeeper and say, you know, what are you doing there? But I'm sure, and with none of these goals, you can't really look too badly and too harshly on the young Sebastian De Silva. Thrown back in now. Hellenic perhaps sense a 5th. McNabb strikes. Oh, and that's off the side of the post and out of play. De Silva not getting a touch there, and McNabb gives the ground a good pound there.
He really wants that goal. He's a glutton for goals and boots.
He certainly is, and I've had a glimpse of his boot collection, and it is extensive. And of course, 15 goals to his name last season. His gluttony for goals is also quite high. Not quite off the mark so far, as Turner will go back to McAdam. Just the 1 minute left, and we've got about 10 seconds of play left as McAdam sends it forward. Bazanellis does well. Now to Matthieu, out wide to Kelly. He's got pace to burn if he decides to. Zed goes over the top here. Trachelis makes a great challenge. Referee puts the whistle in the mouth. And as Hellenic come out of defence, it looks to be case done and dismissed. Tim Lay blows for the final whistle. Hellenic Athletic Club off to a winning start in season 2023, coming down from a goal behind to completely, it has to be said, overrun the MINDIL Aces side. Positive signs though early on from the Aces, but ultimately, Luke, it looked like Hellenic just had that engine to keep on roaring.
Yeah, MINDIL were looking really good in that first half, and unfortunately maybe fatigue, a few injuries, it really changed the game in that second half, and Hellenic just sort of run over them.
Absolutely. So round 2 for these two sides. Hellenic playing Casuarina next Saturday at 4 p.m. and MINDIL Aces will be playing University of Zurich same day at 8 p.m. Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, my name is George Scoofes, joined again and thankful alongside Luke Valudos. We'll bid you good night and safe travels.